Well, hello there, good old friend of mine.
So welcome to NRL from the Sidelines for 2022. You're with Tom. For those of you who don't know, let's go down the end. Tom,
Hi.
Brian over here, and I'm Steve. And as we have done for the last few years, we're going to have a season talking about football, about the Mighty Bunnies, how well they're going to go. Gentlemen, don't.
We're trying to be kind in the first week.
We'll be kind.
Yeah, you'll be kind. So you'll notice that we have a bit of a different backdrop here. We're trying something new. I want you to... We hope the TV isn't too distracting, but hey, we all love football, so we thought we'd put it on.
But what game is it, Steve?
It is the Eels and the Cowboys.
So nobody cares.
Well, you know what? The reason for doing Eels and Cowboys is at least between the three of us, we're not showing any biases.
Okay.
My temptation was to put on the South Roosters 60-6, but Tom wouldn't appreciate it.
Excuse me, it was 60-8.
Oh, 60-8.
Those 2
sorry.
points make all the difference.
That's right. Well, hey, let's just go the Manly Dogs 66-0.
Anyway, can we move
Can
on?
we get on?
Yes.
So, gentlemen, welcome to a new season. It's 2022. Time
Yes.
is flashing before us.
Yep.
We're not as young as we used to be last year. Are you both excited about the new season coming up?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because I'm anticipating...
You know what? Can we make a rule this year that anytime I ask a question, I have to get more than a one-word answer?
I was about to give you something and you said why, and I was about to tell you, so...
Well, not quick enough. Let's go. Keep it.
Okay, so yes, we're going to have a good season because we might actually be able to get a full squad on the park this year of first graders. So that's
That'll
right.
be-
Did you?
Roosters.
But did you know, Steve? According to Coach Robbo, they're rebuilding.
Oh, yeah.
No rebuild at the Roosters.
According to Robbo,
They're rebuilding.
They're struggling. They're going to have a rebuild.
Yeah, they're
year.
struggling and
Yeah.
rebuilding. Yeah,
I don't
Of course
believe that.
man, what a joke.
No, none of us believe it either.
Yeah,
Brian,
Yeah.
you excited about this year?
I am.
See, Tom's only excited about the Roosters. He mentions nobody else. But you, I know,
Yep.
are unbiased.
I am.
You're
I
fair.
am. True.
Go straight to
You talk
Tom.
more about football than just Manly, right?
Absolutely, I am looking forward to the season. It has been a massive off season,
Massive
and
off.
I just want the footy to start. As a matter of fact, I said to my wife, "Oh, the trial games are actually the trial games are all being broadcast this year," and I said, "Excellent, the football starts 2 weeks early," and she went, "Oh, not again."
I thought she just would have looked at you and then closed the door and walked away.
Oh, not again, is what she said.
No. It's yes.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good season.
Will be great.
It will be.
And there's a lot of changes which we're going to talk about that make the season interesting because I think there are a few teams who are going to, well, on paper, should do a lot better than they've been doing. A few teams who have been stuck down the bottom for a while look like they've got the potential to move up the table a little bit, and that's interesting.
Yep.
So looking forward to a lot of those changes.
Okay. And we will talk about those first. But firstly, let's remember we've got a lot of people who watch this show throughout the year who have dropped off a little bit over
Our dedicated fan base.
Our Sally's, our Janelles, our
We've been hearing from them.
Sally's and Janelles, and Sally and Janelle, and I think Barry occasionally when
Barry and
Hayden.
Braden
Barry.
we know.
So we're hoping you all come back again. We're hoping that you can help us to promote this show. We love doing it, and you know we just love having fun and talking about football and something we enjoy. So we're hoping you can get out and share it this year, so we can get more than Janelle and Sally and a few others. So no, hang on. What do I say? We have thousands of viewers. We just don't know their names. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're early in the season. We have just had the Indigenous and Maori All Stars. Gentlemen, let's talk about that game for a moment. Your thoughts on that game?
My thoughts on
Your
that
thoughts.
game.
Now we were together when we watched it, so I know you're awake at the time.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh look, I'm one of the minority that are not particularly interested in this game, only because I find it far removed from rugby league with unlimited interchange and quarters and things like that. So, but I must admit, I thought the intensity of the match, it surprised me. The intensity of the match surprised me.
Given the conditions too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was, and it was a lot more high quality than I thought it was, and there were some good things to come out of it.
Yep.
So Nico Hines playing at 5'8" was solid. Dylan Walker I thought Dylan Walker was great on the Maori side, which was, thank goodness he's playing in the centres again. There were little highlights across the park, so I actually didn't mind it.
Okay.
There you go.
It was a hard-fought game. It was, I think in the end, the forwards of the Maori side probably proved all of the difference.
Huge guys, yeah.
Although Patrick Herbert had a great defensive game.
Yes, he certainly did.
Tarpany obviously was a standout.
Yep.
And you know what? For all of Rapana's stupidity, I actually thought he played pretty solid most of the game. He did a couple of dumb things, but he's really enthusiastic.
Well, he did one dumb thing and he's suspended for it.
So,
Well, he's suspended for two
he
things.
did two dumb things, but
There was nothing wrong with the second. He got sin binned.
No,
he got
that's right.
sin binned for nothing.
yeah.
He got sin binned for a legitimate tackle.
Well, he tried to change the. It was still a shoulder charge,
No,
but
it
he
wasn't.
tried to. Well, if you go by the intent of what a shoulder
No,
charge,
he was not charged for that tackle.
I know he wasn't, but he was binned for that tackle.
I also thought that
Incorrectly binned.
Josh Adokar had a very quiet game.
Yep.
Perhaps he wasn't allowed to play the way he normally plays, but he, especially as captain, I think he was a little bit missing, which is a bit disappointing.
True.
Yeah.
So, let's go back to Rapana for a moment. Tom, you were telling me something about his suspension.
My understanding is, and this may have changed, but my understanding was he got a week for drink driving, which was supposed to be at the beginning of the season, and there is talk that now that he's being suspended for the Indigenous game, that he might be able to serve those serve one of the weeks concurrently. So therefore, instead of like 3 weeks, he'll only get 2, which doesn't seem right to me.
No, I agree. And one thing that I find frustrating with that is there's some people out there saying, but the Roosters did it. And the case that they cite is when Victor Radley was undergoing knee surgery and then was suspended for an incident at a pub up on the coast. And so they're saying it's the same. It's not the same at all. The bloke had an injury. He didn't have a suspension to serve. So for anyone out there, I'm actually backing the Roosters on that one. Oh.
Geez, that must hurt. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
I'd like a recording of that later on.
Yeah,
Thanks.
It's not. Yeah, but it's not right. The guy, he shouldn't have even been playing in that match. To be perfectly honest, if Latrell Mitchell couldn't play, if Latrell Mitchell couldn't play because it was a representative match, Jordan Rapana shouldn't have played because it was a representative match. Full stop. End of story.
Personally, I think that the Indigenous All Stars is an exhibition game, and I actually don't think it should count towards the season. Therefore, he should have been able to play. Latrell, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Personally, it's an exhibition game. It counts for nothing on the world stage. It counts for nothing on the premiership.
Yep.
There's no point. There's no ranking or anything. It's a one-off game. It's exhibition.
Yep.
And personally, I think he should have been able to play.
Okay. Tarpany had a great game.
Yeah, it's good.
And Ricky Stewart will play him for like 25 minutes and then bench him, and his wife will get stuck into him again.
I was going to say, it was his wife last year who banged out Ricky Stewart for only giving him a few minutes a game. So be interesting to see how Ricky plays him this year.
Oh, absolutely. He's a fantastic player. I love him. He's a great player.
Okay. So overall, I thought considering the conditions, it was an excellent game. I mean, it was fast, it was hard. Absolutely no doubt about the intensity of the game. It wasn't a trial. It wasn't really an exhibition. It was hard and tough.
Yep.
And they both sides hammered each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for a pre-season game, it's pretty full on.
No, I thought it was an excellent game.
Yep.
All right. So let's now move on to some of the changes of personnel around the clubs. So a number of teams have picked up some good buys.
Astute.
And a number of teams have lost those good buys. So I'm just going to bring a couple of names. I'd like you two gentlemen to tell me what you think.
Yep, throw a name.
Okay, Reynolds. Adam Reynolds from South to the Broncos.
Smart move by the Bronx. We've been saying for the last, we have been saying, because we understand football here, we've been saying for the last 5 years the Broncos need a halfback. They need someone who'll grab a game, direct them, yell at those big forwards and tell them where to go.
And do it on a consistent basis because they've had in and out halves for a long time.
So I think that was a great pickup by the Bronx, and it's the start of the cracks in Souths when they let their captain and halfback and junior star leave.
We're not here to pick on.
You asked him. No. It was a bad recruitment decision to let him go. Full stop.
It's your
I
opinion.
got to agree. So
Yeah, but it's,
And it's Steve's biased anyway.
it's
So
not true.
it is.
Because Ilias will set the world on fire this year.
Maybe in 5 years' time.
This year.
We'll see.
yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Next.
Cronulla?
Nico Hines.
Well, Cronulla.
Melbourne
Cronulla
Sharks.
has made some astute signings.
Yes.
I think they've got Nico Hines, who played very well in the halves. Well, he played pretty well in the halves the other night, the Indigenous game. I think he got better as the game went on. Dale Finucane,
Yep.
who's just the kind of man you want at any club. You know, he's a workhorse and he sets a tone at the club.
Cam
And
McInnes.
Cam McInnes, yep. And Craig Fitzgibbon, the coach. Now he's untried, he's untested, but he comes from a very good pedigree, and I think I seriously think that the Sharks will be in the 8. I have no doubt they'll be in the 8 this year.
Yeah, I know you have a soft spot for the coach.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've got my doubts that the first year he's going to be able to perform.
They're not going to be top 14, but I think they'll be playing well enough to get into the 8 because they've got a huge forward pack. They've got big boppers everywhere.
Next show we're going to talk about the top 8.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Brian, do you think the Sharks will make the top 8? Just while we're on that.
Yeah, I do.
You do. Okay.
Yeah, I do. I just think they bought, as Tom said, they actually just bought class. Like they were if they were a fringe 8 side last year, they've solidified.
Yep.
They've solidified where they needed to. So
And some of the young big boys are a year more mature too, which I think is important. People like Toby Rudolph and Royce Hunt, and yeah. Anyway,
Okay. Capewell, Panthers to bring it to Brisbane.
I thought he had a fairly average year last year, even though he was in a premiership winning side.
and played State of Origin.
Yeah. But look,
But mind you, he will be strengthening up that back line considerably.
yeah,
Back line. He is a
sorry,
he's
second
a
row.
centre,
Back
isn't he?
row.
Back row, yeah.
Yeah, look, I just don't know. You look at the Broncos team, and they've got big mobile backs and forwards. I just don't know where Capewell fits in.
Yep.
That's my honest opinion. I think he's taken the money and run, and I don't know whether that's a particularly astute buy.
I think it works well for him.
It does.
Okay, what about Watson from Newcastle the Roosters?
Yeah, I like it. I think
But do you think he'll actually ever get a game, or do you think he'll just come off the bench?
he's their number 14. I think
what I'm
that's
saying.
virtually guaranteed. He's
Come
going
off-
to be
come off the
number
bench.
14. Because he's a utility player. He's just been very injured of late, and I don't think he got a chance to show what he can really do at the Knights.
Yep.
And that may say something about their training methods. You know, that he got so injured. He's coming to a club with a new high performance, very well credentialed high performance manager. Hopefully he won't succumb to the injuries, and he's growing into his body now. But anyway, he's a good utility, and I think he'll offer a lot to the team.
Okay. Momirovski from Panthers to the Roosters.
I wondered why we were buying another back.
You've got
back.
a few of them.
We do, but look, he again has gone away from the Roosters, learned his trade. You know, Melbourne, Penrith.
Yep.
He's coming back as a very well rounded player, so he'll add something to the team. It's just whether he gets a regular game is the question.
Yep. Okay. What about
Brian.
Yeah. Xavier Coates. Broncos to
Look,
Melbourne.
Coach has got a lot of hype. He's got a lot of hype about him. He's the next Greg Inglis. He's faster than Addo Carr. You know what? None of that means squat unless you can put it together.
Yeah.
But
I think they're, probably Melbourne. Look, Melbourne are probably the benchmark team. They have been for a long time, and they lost Addo Carr, and we finally went, ooh, there might be a weakness here, and they bought in an Addo Carr clone.
it was the same when they got Vunivalu. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
So good move for Melbourne. Well, I think they replaced like for like. I don't think they're losing experience with Addo Carr, but you know what? It's a great move for the kid.
Yeah.
Look, if he was going to the Tigers, you'd go, well, he's probably going to get wasted there.
Yep.
But he's going to Melbourne.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that structure, they'll just say, go and watch a tape of Addo Carr and do the same thing. Although he's got the height that Addo Carr doesn't have.
So,
Okay, so listen, I'm not sure that our homely setting is working out.
In what way?
Because I'm watching it here on the screen, and now we're about to watch a game between Manly and the Melbourne Storm, and I don't think Brian's going to pay attention. I think it's a grand final.
Turn around, Steve, Brian.
I think it's a grand final.
I am turning around.
No, it can't be a grand final. Shane
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, so we're going to talk about Addo-Carr.
Yes, so we're going to Addo-Carr and Burton.
And Burton, is that all?
Oh, no.
Well,
Tavita Pangai.
Yeah.
Paul Vaughan.
So
Duffy.
a new team.
So they've got Addo-Carr, Max King, Matt Burton, Brent Naden, Matt Duffy, Paul Vaughan, Tavita Pangai Jr., Josh Cook, Braden Burns, Reece Hoffman.
Well, I did say they're a new team.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
look, the Dogs are the exact opposite to where Manly is at the moment. Manly had for this season 2 losses, Sully and Jack Gazinski, and they gained Ethan Bullymore. Des has gone, settled roster, we'll bring our juniors up, we're happy with what we've got. The Dogs have gone, we're going to get a new team.
But look where each of them was in the.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
in the ladder last year.
you know what? But there's something to be said for settled, and I don't want to pour cold water on the Dogs, but that might take a while for those players to start gelling and to put it together.
And let me ask the question.
That's all I'm suggesting is that we can't. The expectations are very, very high, and I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay, I want to ask a question on the Dogs, just while we're on it. I didn't want to particularly do this tonight, but Flanagan at halfback for the Dogs, yes or no?
Yes.
Well, they're going with Avarillo at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but
Yes.
should Flanagan get the
Yes.
gig?
I'm uncertain. And
So I'm with Brian.
I've
I
got a
think
little
he
bit. I've got a little bit of bias because he played so well for the Roosters, but then in a good
Yep.
structure, and then he hasn't performed for the Dogs. So I'm not
but,
sure.
But he hasn't performed. He hasn't performed at the Dogs behind a beaten pack and a team with no pace. You're chucking in Addo-Carr, Brent Naden, Matt Duffy. All he needs is a little kicking game, and all of a sudden you've got 3 of the quickest blokes in the football team chasing the ball.
Yep.
You've got Tavita Pangai Jr. and Paul Vaughan up front. Like, at last they've got a bit of grunt. So they might actually get a roll on. I actually think if he's given the opportunity, he will be as good as he was at the Roosters.
Well, I hope he'll be better because I mean, obviously he played for us, and I felt bad when he went.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way he went either, but I just wasn't convinced last year. He went there as the saviour to try and pull them out of the mire, and clearly it wasn't his time.
Well, he couldn't do it on his own.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So, gentlemen, let's talk about some of the trials coming up this weekend. There isn't a lot of football to talk about at the moment.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
and we all know the first round of trials are usually just played with, I guess, the fringe first graders
Yep.
or those who haven't had a lot of runs. And keep in mind that for the last couple of years, a lot of the junior players that are going to play this weekend haven't really played much football.
No. Unless they're in the Roosters, because we were full of those.
please.
But we were full of reserve graders.
My goodness.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It's the next man up syndrome, Brian.
Exactly right, and it worked.
Although, I do want to say, I read a list of all the players that the Roosters have lost this year, and it's substantial.
Significant,
It is
absolutely.
substantial.
But you know what? Kiri's back. That's a massive inclusion.
I'd like to see whether you're rated for the spoon. Okay, let's talk about the trials. South versus...
Hang on. Who did they lose? I'm just looking at it now. Jake Friend, Boyd Cordner, Brett Morris, Josh Morris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dale Copley. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. But they all retired last year.
Yeah,
To be perfectly honest.
there were some other names.
Isaac Liu and Matty Cavalu.
Well, that's a substantial part of the team.
So that they lost 2 blokes from last year.
No, they lost the Morrises from last year.
Well, Cordner, a friend, and one of the Morrises didn't play at all last year.
Oh,
They played
no,
the
sorry.
first- they played
Brett
the-
Morris played most of the season.
Yeah, please.
And
Anyway.
Josh Morris played all of the season.
Anyway, strongly disagree. Anyway,
course you
continuing on.
Okay, so South versus Cowboys this weekend. Look, as I say, this,
Cowboys. Yeah.
what?
Well, the first game is Manly versus the Tigers.
No, it's not.
It's
It's the Roosters versus
Roosters
the
versus the Raiders. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so you want to go in order? Okay,
No,
let's talk about. No, please. I'm here. This is a new me this year. I'm not going to be so.
We still see the old me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Roosters versus Raiders.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a moot point because who knows what kind of team. I mean, I wish they would put out a squad
Well,
But
South have put out a
they're not.
squad for this week.
yeah, I haven't seen a squad for the Roosters, so.
Okay.
That's
Well,
probably because the Roosters haven't.
You can presume most of your top players.
Well, I
won't
tell you
play.
what, they're going to be a bit nervous his first game.
I was going to say no. The Roosters actually haven't put out a squad.
No.
The Raiders squad's interesting. Albert Hopewadi is playing. James Schiller, Brad Schneider, whoever he is. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So
Okay.
anyway,
Have you anything to say about the Manly Tigers?
no. Apparently they're resting the Tom, which is always a concern.
Did he have another race through the course?
No.
No.
So they're resting Tom, they're resting Cherry, they're resting Kieran Foran. I don't know. So the young guys are going to have to step up. There's a lot of hype about the young halfback Humphreys.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. But, it's a trial.
Well, I can tell you now, if you watch the South Cowboys trial, Ilias will be playing.
Yeah.
He'll be playing at halfback.
Taff will be...
Taff will be fullback.
Yep.
So there's actually, Souths have a few good kids coming through.
Yep.
And I think you'll find that a lot of those might shine this year. But it'll be interesting to see how Ilias goes. Although he probably won't be playing a full-strength Cowboys, but who knows what that is going to be either.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cowboys have got Chad Townsend for the first time as well.
Yeah, look, and I actually want to see young Blake Taaffe play. I liked the way he played last year.
Yep.
I thought he was a bit of a shining light for
Okay.
a very boring team.
Who made the grand final, by the way, and lost by 2
Very
points.
boring team. Yes.
Okay, so gentlemen, next show we're going to talk about our top 8, but I just want you to tell me right now who you think the premiers are going to be for 2022. Let's just finish up the show with that.
Well, I'm going to be biased because I honestly think that we're a good shot
Seriously?
this year.
You think the Roosters...
Honestly think we're a good shot this year.
I can't go past the Panthers. They've a year older, just as brash. I know it's hard to go back to back, but I think they'll finish comfortably first.
Yep.
Well, the Roosters don't care about being first.
Yeah, well, I'm not listening to your opinion because you're biased.
No,
You've
I
already
honestly,
established
seriously think that we're a
Sorry,
chance this year.
No, I'm asking seriously. I think you have a chance, but I think so do half a dozen others.
It's okay.
that. Not Souths though.
So, Brian, Steve, okay, give us your unbiased opinion.
My unbiased opinion is I think the Panthers are up there again.
Right.
I truly do.
I agree. I think they're going to be in.
Well, no, you don't. You said Roosters.
No, I didn't say.
Come on, put it on the line, son.
I don't think the
asked you-
Panthers will
you
win,
tell him.
but I could easily see that they'll be in the grand final.
No.
No, I said
He
who
said
do you think
who?
is going to win?
Okay, well, I said the Roosters. And you
Okay.
can say what you like.
And you're saying Panthers?
I'm saying Panthers will finish minor premiers.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's a different
That's
argument.
not what I asked you.
That's exactly right, and I said that, and you held me
This is not
down.
going to change at all.
Far
I said
out,
that, and
honestly.
you held me down.
Yeah, and you said same dummies.
Oh, that's
You're
not
only
true.
you're only lucky because you got in and said that first.
Yeah,
Well, I had to
All right.
because I know it was coming.
okay. This show started. This is just like last year. Nothing's changed. I hope you like our new set. We're trying to be a little bit more homely, a little bit more relaxed. Homely,
Yep.
is that a good word?
Yeah.
Homey?
Homie,
Not homey.
we wear our hats back to front.
Yeah. Yo.
No, we're not going to do that. Ever.
Hang on. I can wear my hat back to front.
You often do.
It's back to front.
Oh, jeez. It's hard to get caught up with that.
Okay.
Thanks
Yes.
for watching.
Good.
This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian,
So
and Steve.
we are back in 2 weeks.
He's going to let me finish?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. It looked like you were signing off. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, we're back in 2 weeks.
Oh,
So we're gonna do the show, and we're gonna do it a little bit differently, gentlemen. We're not gonna be doing every game every weekend.
No.
We're gonna try and have a bit of fun as well, but we'll talk about the important things
Yeah.
and anything that to do with South and so forth. So, thank you for watching. This is NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian, and Steve, and we're gonna do it all again in a couple of weeks' time. See you soon. Bye bye.
See ya.
ciao.